Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Louisiana 529 Saving Programs webinar. Just a little bit of housekeeping. We are going to have a question and answer session after the presentation. So feel free to drop your questions in the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen, and we will get to them after the presentation. So my name is Anna Bro. I am a comprehensive advising officer. In my previous role with LOSFA, I was a public information officer who specialized in the 529 programs, which is why I'm here today to share that information with you. So just a little bit about LOSFA. We are the Louisiana Office of Student Financial Assistance. We are a program under the Board of Regents, and we are all things college access, which means that we strive to be Louisiana's first choice for college access through promoting, preparing for, and providing equity of college access. Along those lines, we administer the state scholarship and grant programs, and we also administer the state's Internal Revenue Code Section 529 college savings programs, which is what we are here to discuss this morning. So we're going to begin with one of our three 529 programs, which is the START Savings for College. And the START Saving Program, it is an educational savings account, and it is recognized as a qualified tuition program under Section 529 of the Internal Revenue Code. What START does is provides an opportunity for all families, regardless of economic status, to have a professionally managed education savings account. START account funds can be used to pay for qualified higher education expenses, which can include tuition and fees, room and board, books and supplies, as well as a computer needed for student services. START funds may be used towards an undergraduate program, a graduate program, or a professional program. START funds may be used to pay the qualified higher education expenses at any accredited college or university, both in-state or out of state, all campuses of Louisiana Technical College, eligible Louisiana proprietary schools, any college outside of the U.S. that is approved by one of the regional associations or approved by the U.S. Secretary of Education and is eligible to participate in a program under Title IV of the Higher Education Act of 1965. Accounts may be opened by anyone who wishes to assist a beneficiary in paying for their college education, and there are 6 different categories of accounts based on the account owner. So Category 1 accounts are opened by parents, grandparents, court-ordered custodians, and persons claiming the beneficiary on their federal tax returns. For this category, either the account owner or the beneficiary must be a Louisiana resident at the time of opening the account. So when an account is opened, residency must be established. Now, this is often a question that we get. What if the account owner or the beneficiary move out of state? If that is the case, you can absolutely continue to maintain this account. You will still get the state matching funds. You just won't be able to take advantage of those Louisiana income tax advantages. So that account is considered kind of grandfathered in. However, if you are out of state and would like to open another one, you would not be able to open a new account. So your existing account would remain in good standing. With Category 2 accounts, those are opened by other members of the family. For example, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, spouses, in-laws, step-parents, step-siblings, and first cousins of the beneficiary. And in this account, either the account owner or the beneficiary must be a Louisiana resident. Category 3 accounts are opened by independent students, and it would be opening an account for themselves. In that case, they must be a Louisiana resident. For Category 4, that's going to be other persons or juridical entities, and in that case, the beneficiary must be a Louisiana resident. Category 5 accounts can be opened by other persons or juridical entities who are Louisiana residents, and in that case, the beneficiary would be a non-resident, so that's going to be Category 5. And Category 6 accounts are opened by philanthropists who are opening accounts on behalf of a needy student, and in that case, the beneficiary would need to be a Louisiana resident. So START accounts may be open online, or you can complete the paper application. Accounts may be open for beneficiaries at any age and at any time during the year. There's no open enrollment season. They can be open throughout the year. The only thing is that the beneficiary must have a Social Security number in order to open the account. And so we get a lot of questions from people who wish to open a START account before their child has a Social Security number. Well, you can wait until the Social Security number has been issued, or if you want to open the account before, you can open it and have one of the parents listed as the beneficiary, and then you can always change that beneficiary to the child once the child has the Social Security number established. There is no limit to the number of accounts which can be opened for a beneficiary with multiple owners. The sum of funds in all of the accounts, though, may not exceed the maximum allowable account balance for a beneficiary, which at this time is $500,000. Now, as an incentive to save, the state of Louisiana matches a portion of the account owner's annual deposits until something called the earnings enhancement cap is reached. For Category 1, 2, and 3 accounts, they will receive earnings enhancements of anywhere between 2 and 14% of annual deposits, determined by the adjusted gross income, or the AGI, of the account owner. For Category 4 accounts, they will receive a 2% earnings enhancement. Category 6 accounts will receive anywhere between a 2% and 14% earnings enhancement based on the AGI of the beneficiary's parents. And something to keep in mind, Category 5 accounts are not eligible for earnings enhancements. You can see on this slide that we have a chart with the adjusted gross income and the correlating earnings enhancement rate. You'll notice that the lower the AGI, the higher that percentage for the earnings enhancement is. Now, the earnings enhancement cap is equal to 5 times the qualified higher education expenses at the highest cost public Louisiana university, which is currently Louisiana State University in Baton Rouge, projected to the scheduled date of enrollment. And the earnings enhancement cap is determined at the time that the account is open. So it's not necessarily something that we can give you an estimate of now. That is determined when the account is open. Once the value of the account reaches the earnings enhancement cap, the account is no longer eligible to receive those earnings enhancements. There are several ways to contribute to a START savings account. You can do so through direct payment. You can do that through EFT, electronic funds transfer. Payroll deduction is another option. You can also elect to have your state income tax refunds be automatically deposited into an existing START account. And you are also able to have lump sum deposits as well. Something to note is that all deposits must be at least $10. So there is not a set frequency with which you have to deposit into the account. You can deposit as frequently or infrequently. Just note that all deposits must be minimum $10. It is possible to do some tax-free rollovers. If you have an existing 529 plan, you can do a rollover into a START savings account. Those rollovers may be direct or indirect. If it is an indirect rollover, those must be completed within 60 days. You also have the option to roll over education savings bonds. You can also roll over Coverdell IRAs, which are also known as an ESA, Education Savings Account. And you can also roll over UGMAs or UTMA. You can do those account transfers. Those are the Uniform Gift to Minors or Uniform Transfer to Minors. Just keep in mind that there may be some tax implications on those account transfers. Now, beginning on August 1st, 2022, account owners who have a Louisiana Start K12 account are able to roll over funds from an existing Start account to that Start K12 account. They can do so if the account owners and the beneficiaries are the same on both that Start and the Start K12 account. Do note that earnings enhancements must remain in the START account for the beneficiary to use for qualified higher education expenses. There are 10 investment options that are offered to meet the unique circumstances of each account owner. The options do range. You can go from very conservative to very aggressive. An account owner has the freedom to select one or more investment funds. There are 3 available age-based options to choose from, but note that if the child is age 16 or over, there's not an age-based option eligible for a new account. One of those 10 investment funds is the Louisiana Principal Protection Fund, which offers conservative investments in fixed earnings, and it is guaranteed by the state of Louisiana. On this slide, you'll see the 10 investment options for the START account, so you can take a look at those. Now, with the Louisiana Principal Protection Portfolio, that fund is managed by the State Treasurer's Office. The redemption value is guaranteed by the state. There are no administrative fees. 100% of the contributions are invested for the beneficiary. And to take a look at 2022 earnings, the Principal Protection Portfolio is at 0.97%. And earnings enhancements were 1.32%. There are various equity mutual funds. There's also age-based truck funds. It is managed through the Vanguard Group. And then for additional details, we do have the START disclosure booklet and supplement number 1 to the disclosure booklet, and that is available on our website. We do have to give the disclaimer that with investments, it is possible that monies invested in variable earnings will lose value, and investment returns are not guaranteed. START is charged an investment management fee of up to 0.14% basis points on monies invested in funds offered by the Vanguard Group, and that is paid by the account owner. Now, some tax advantages to having a START account. Earnings used for qualified higher education expenses are exempt from state and federal taxes. There is up to a $2,400 for single filer or $4,800 for married couples who file jointly in deposits per beneficiary per year that may be deducted from income reported on Louisiana tax returns. Account owners who deposit less than that $2,400 for single filers or $4,800 for married couples who file jointly per year may carry that unused deduction forward to subsequent years. Now, for financial aid purposes, a START account is considered an asset of the account owner, not the beneficiary. So when requesting disbursements from a START account, they can be requested to cover qualified higher education expenses of the beneficiary. And we actually have 3 options for how that disbursement is going to be sent. The owner can indicate that they want the disbursement sent directly to them, the owner. They can request that it's sent to the account beneficiary, but they also have the option to request that it is sent directly to the eligible educational institution that the student, the beneficiary, is attending. Now, deposits into a START account are voluntary, and they may be terminated by the owner at any time. Note that the account beneficiary can be rolled over to another family member without any adverse consequences. So it is possible, let's say if you've got some siblings and you've got a START account and one of the siblings is a beneficiary. When they are finished with that, you are able to change the beneficiary from one sibling to another, and there's you're not going to have any financial implications on that account if you're just changing beneficiary to a different family member. Refunds from voluntary terminations include the market value of the account, and note that accounts that are open less than 12 months will not receive interest, and START will retain all earnings enhancements and interest thereon. Now, with an account termination, the account owner must pay a 10% federal tax penalty on earnings. Account owners must pay federal and state income taxes on earnings. And the account owner must pay state income taxes on any contributions previously deducted from their Louisiana AGI. There is online access to your START account. You can also access your annual statement online. You can also elect to have those sent to you in paper copy if you so choose. So that rounds out our START for college savings. So our second 529 program that we'll discuss is our START K12. And we mentioned that just a few minutes ago when talking about the START for college savings. So the START K12 program allows families to save for tuition expenses related to attendance at an approved Louisiana school that provides any or all of kindergarten through 12th grade. Some highlights of the START K12 program include investment options that are selected by the state treasurer. It can be used to pay qualified education expenses, namely tuition, at any approved Louisiana public or private secondary school that offers any grades kindergarten through 12th grade. There is a $10,000 maximum limit on withdrawals per calendar year for tuition. And the maximum allowable balance of the account is $180,000. Deposits will be offered through payroll deduction, bank debit, or direct payment. Now, any remaining funds in a K-12 account after 12th grade can be rolled over to a START account. Beginning on that August 1st, 2022 date, account owners who have that Louisiana START K-12 account are able to roll over funds of a START account to the START K-12 account, and then back from the START K-12 to the START once they are done, if they no longer need those funds in the START K-12 account. Note that the account owners must be the same on the START and the START K-12 account, and that earnings enhancements must remain in the START account for the beneficiary to use for those qualified higher education expenses. Now, there are 9 investment options for the START K-12 accounts, and you see those listed here on the slide. And some advantages to having a START K-12 account include disbursements used for qualified education expenses are exempt from federal and state taxes. Beginning in the 2022 tax year, account owners were able to deduct up to $1,200 for a single filer or $2,400 for married couples who file jointly in deposits per beneficiary per year from income reported on Louisiana tax returns. And that is beginning with deposits made starting January 2022. And account owners who deposit less than the $1,200 for single filer or $2,400 for married couples who file jointly per year may carry that unused deduction forward to subsequent years. So rounding out our 529 programs, we have our third program, which is LA ABLE. And the LA ABLE program stands for Louisiana Achieving a Better Life Experience. And what that does is it allows families to save for the disability-related expenses of their loved ones. It is a Section 529A account under the Internal Revenue Code. And the advantages of this program, the advantage here is that it allows families to save without worry about whether the savings in that account will be counted as an asset for purposes of determining eligibility for federal programs, such as Medicaid and Social Security. Now, the account owner, with or without help from family and friends, can save up to $17,000 per year. Account balances may not exceed $100,000, or the funds will be counted as an asset for purposes of determining eligibility for Social Security income, or SSI. And so what we say here, we advocate, if that account balance does go over $100,000, those benefits are not canceled. Rather, they are frozen. They will be frozen until that balance goes back down. So we will advise account owners to kind of keep an eye on that account balance and not to let it get too close to going over that 100,000, that ceiling. And any earnings on the account are tax-free as long as the funds are spent on qualified disability expenses. And qualified disability expenses include education, housing, transportation, employment training and support, assistive technology and related services, personal support services, health prevention and wellness, financial management and administrative services, legal fees, expenses for oversight and monitoring, funeral and burial expenses, and other expenses which may be identified by the Internal Revenue Service as well. You can open an LA Able account online or complete the paper application. Do know that the applicant must provide certain protected health information for IRS reporting purposes. And the applicant must specify the basis for eligibility by identifying which of the following 3 categories would apply. It could be receive Social Security Disability Income Title II SSA, or receive Social Security Income Title 16 SSA, or the beneficiary has a signed physician's diagnosis, which can be provided to the LA Able program or the IRS upon request. Louisiana Able accounts are available to eligible U.S. citizens and legal residents of the state of Louisiana with a valid Social Security number who developed the onset of his or her blindness or disability before the date on which he or she became 26 years old, and is entitled to benefits such as Social Security Disability Insurance SSDI or Supplemental Security Income SSI based on blindness or disability under Title II or 16 of the Social Security Act, or the beneficiary has a signed physician's diagnosis which can be provided to the LA Able program or the IRS upon request. Now, there are no fees to open an LA Able account, and you do not have to make a deposit when you first open the account. But do keep in mind that within 6 months or 180 days of opening an account, you must deposit at least $10 into that account. Administrators can make deposits to an LA Able program account by direct payments or by an automatic bank deposit directly from a savings or a checking account. Checks must be made payable to the LA Able account program and must include your account number as well as a deposit slip. To withdraw funds, the administrator must complete a request for disbursement form and include all required information. Withdrawals can be made no more than twice per month and must be at least $200 unless the account balance is less than $200 and the intent is to close the account. There are 9 investment options for the LA Able accounts, and you see them listed here on this slide. And then rounding us out, here's our contact information for our START department. On the web, you'll see that we have our www.startsaving.la.gov. That's going to be for the START and the START K12. And then we also have www.able.osfa.la.gov for our LA Able program. We also have our email address. So START and START K12 inquiries or questions can be sent to start@la.gov. LA Able questions can be sent to laable@la.gov. We can be reached by phone, 800-259-5629. We have a Facebook page at Start Saving 529 Program LA. We are also available on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Start Saving 529. And so what we'll do now is we'll open it up for questions. Feel free to drop your questions in the Q&A box, and we will do our best to get those answered. Let's see. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Sarah, is that the slide that you were requesting? So the rate is based on whose income. Okay. So for category 1, 2, and 3, that's going to be determined by the adjusted gross income of the account owner. Category 4 across the board is going to be 2%. And then let's see, 6 is going to be based on the AGI of the beneficiary's parents. Yeah, you're welcome. Any other questions? All right. Well, if we don't have any other questions, I thank you for joining us this morning. We are available to answer any questions you may have in the future. Don't hesitate to reach out to us. I will stay on for just a few more moments just in case there are any last minute questions. But again, thank you for joining us for our webinar, and we look forward to serving you in the future.